What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. This is for entertainment purposes only. So this is going to be a little bit longer of a video. You can just skip to the end if you want, just to see like what my plan is for this week. But I kind of want to like shoot the shit here and just go over. I want to look at some different things here. So I want to start, and I had a pretty good week, by the way. $800. I made $800 this week. One trade I held the entire week, and that was about a little under half of my profits. And then I traded in and out of two different pairs all week long, trading different drops or spikes up, and I made more than half of my profits just getting in and out. But on one of them I would have made a lot more if I just held. But you know, that's a topic for another day. So I want to go over first off how to draw trend lines correctly. So this took me a little while to actually figure out, and I'll show you an example of another trend line that I drew that was wrong, and then once I fixed it, oh, now it makes sense. So I've learned this the hard way by experience and just testing things out. So let's delete these. And we're just going to start with the US dollar just to get a bigger picture here of what we think might be coming into the market. So first off, we're going to draw some trend lines here. And the way I've learned to do trend lines correctly is you want to go by closed price. Closed price, you know, with as many wick touches as possible. So to me, that would be it right there. If we look on the monthly chart, you can see close price, close price. We had a false break. We got wicks there. We got close price, and then we got a bunch of wicks back here. That looks correct. Now, let's copy that trend line and drag it up. Put it on closed price. Boom. And there it is. I believe. Yeah, that doesn't work. You can kind of move it around and see, like, yeah, that works. No, that doesn't. Yeah, I would say right there is what we're looking at. Can we actually... Yeah, let's move that forward. Boom. Okay, so now let's look at the dollar bigger picture here. So you can see from here we had this impulse move, which had some pullbacks in the move. So we had that, there's our impulse, then we had a correction, then we had an impulse, then we had a correction, and now we just had another impulse. Is this the end of the impulse, or is this just a pullback in the overall impulse move? So that would say that possibly we could be going higher, or are we just going to get a correction here? So either way we look at this, it looks like that we will have some more dollar strength, you know, in the short term anyway. So I do think there's a good possibility that the dollar will come up and retest these highs before this is over. I mean, just looking at this, I don't know that we'll take the high out. We could. But you even see this was the bottom here. And then we had this correction, which we came very, very close to the absolute low. And then it moved. So it seems like the move happens, something happens in the world, and then this correction is just buyers and sellers getting in and out of the market, trying to figure out, okay, are we going higher? Are we going lower? Are we going higher? Nope, we're not going higher. Nope, we're not going lower. And then all of a sudden it breaks out into another direction and it keeps going. So we have a trend, correction, and or impulse, correction, impulse, correction, impulse. So I don't know. I would say it looks like what it looks like is the dollar's coming back down to retest this this trend line, which would be this area that I've marked. You know, I had support here and support there, approximately. And instead of having two lines, I just put a zone. So anywhere within this zone, we might get a little bit more short-term dollar weakness, but then I would say after that, I would say dollar strength would be coming back into the market soon. So we just keep this in the back of our minds, you know, as a general idea of what to expect in the market. I mean, it could stop right here. I mean, this thing could start going up at any time. And I'll show you another example of trend line being wrong. And that was this guy right here, USD CAD. So I had it by wicks. Yeah, let's just get rid of this. Yeah, so if we go by the 2 wicks here on the weekly chart, wick, and then we come in and look at the chart, you'll see, you know, I was calling out this 134 area that I thought price would probably reverse within this zone somewhere. And I was like, okay, well, it looks like price is going up correctively. Maybe it will drop one more time and then actually retest this trend line. And that might be a possibility, but check this out. This is where it gets crazy here. So if we go by close price, and as many wick touches. So we got close price, wick touch, wick touch. Now we zoom in on price. Oh! We've already retested the trend line. Son of a gun. And here's another area that I've been faked out many times. You know, looks like price is going up slow and correctively. You look on the weekly chart, we actually have a 382 pin bar candle, a reversal candle. Huh. Right, but it looks like price is going up slow and correctively. So, like, most times, if this is a correction, and that's the thing, it might not be a correction. Because I'm expecting price to drop one more time. Second test of this area, actually punch through this 134 line, touch this trend line again, and then we get the reversal. That's kind of what I'm thinking is going to happen. And if this thing drops down one more time hard, I'm definitely entering this trade. 100%, I'll enter. We do have a 382 pin bar, and this is where it gets confusing, because if this is not a correction, and I've fallen for this before too. If we go back to NZD CAD, and if you've been like following my trades for a while now, you'll know this one, because I was screaming up and down about this one for a long time, and it went up without me. Because I overanalyze things. But you see, price came down and touched a monster trend line. And zoomed out, this looks like a big bull flag. And I'm like, yeah, this thing's... Either way, price has just been bouncing between these two lines. So, looks like a bull flag. We're bouncing in between. So, either way, if this bounces up, I want to be in that. So then we'll zoom in to, like, yeah, here it is on the 4-hour chart. As soon as I noticed the trade, we were like here. And I'm like, oh, look. It's going up correctively. We haven't missed it yet. So it's going to drop one more time. It's going to spike down, and then it's going to spike up hard, and that's going to be the reversal. And I sat and waited for that. I was like, I'm not going to FOMO in. Because as soon as I get in, it'll drop. You know what I mean? And you can see it just kept going and kept going. And then all of a sudden, it picked up speed. And it took off. I mean, it just took off. So I missed this entire move. Even though, you know, I was calling it out for a long, long time. I yeah. I got faked out on that one for sure. So you kind of have to look at things like it could be a correction, or maybe it's not. So this week I traded, not that it really matters because it's past tense, but you know, it's good to go back and look at what you did right and what you did wrong. And for GBP USD, we had a clear uptrend on Sunday. While I was sleeping, the market dropped. I woke up and I always check the market first thing in the morning because usually there's opportunities there. And there was one. We were right here, GBP USD. I woke up Monday morning. I jumped in that and it pushed up rather quickly. I took profit above the highs. Nice little move. If I'd held it, it went a little bit higher, but then retraced back down. So, yeah, that was a good trade. In, out, money made, see you later. And then Aussie USD. Aussie USD, this looks like a giant correction to me. Giant bear flag. We were above previous highs, and we started to get some spinning tops. So as soon as I saw those spinning tops, I entered on the second one, and I got this drop. Came back up a little bit, I took profit. I missed this drop, but then I got in on this retracement, I took that drop, and then I re-entered on this retracement, and I took that drop, and I took profit every single time. We got the drop, I got out. And I did pretty good, so I made a little over 400, yeah, like 430 bucks just on GBP and Aussie, just doing that. Just saw the retracement, got in, let the move happen, get out. And then the rest of it is right here, GBP JPY. This one is quite interesting. So I'm trying not to see things just go without me anymore, if I can help it. So if we look at this on the weekly chart, I added this cumulative volume delta to the weekly chart. I was just messing around. I wanted to see. And son of a gun, look at that. Yeah, I mean, you can see that. Like, we had the uptrend here, and this was the high. That was the actual high. You can see directly below that. That's where the high was clocked in, right there. It actually went higher, but this does not show that. And it actually has just been going sideways, but you can see this delta chart is going down. So we have divergence on the weekly chart. Interesting. That's definitely interesting. So I have two zones of interest marked out on this weekly chart. We have the unholy mother of all resistance. Like, this is a crazy level every single time. If price goes back up into that zone again, I'm going to sell even more. Like, this is a huge, huge, huge zone for resistance. And it took a lot of momentum and a lot of buyers to even push through that zone, and it was short-lived. So we have the mother zone there, and then we have this other zone just below that you can see is clearly acting as support on the weekly chart here, and now resistance, which is good. Oh, and look at this. I believe I said this last week, that we were going to get a 382 pin bar. That price would push up, come back down to this zone, and close, and we would get a pin bar reversal candle by the end of the week. And we did. Nice. So, yeah, price went above the highs, like I was saying. We got into the zone. I sold. I just entered the trade manually. I just kind of waited and watched. And we've got this drop. Took out a 4-hour swing low. And now it looks like price is going up correctively into this zone right here. This other weekly zone. So if you're not in this trade, this might be a good spot to actually take on some risk. And I was considering adding on to this position, but whenever you do that, then it's weird because you have to close your first position first before you can close the one below it. It shouldn't matter. It's two different trades. Like, I should be able to close, but yeah, there's so many stupid rules. So I might just leave this and go trade other pairs. If there's nothing else, then maybe I will, but... So if we zoom into the 1 hour chart, it looks like... Yeah, look at this. We got a little spike up on Friday. And then right before market close, we got a bearish engulfing. Nice little sell-off there. But that might be the setup. I notice this happens a lot. Like, you'll get this sell-off. It might come down a little bit. And then we'll get one more spike up. And then the reversal. So you're getting people in short here. They put their stop above the high. You know, it starts pushing down. Then it comes back up. Takes out that high. And then actually drops. So you get tricked out. So if you're not in it, I mean, it's up to you. You could enter because we are in the zone. You know, see where price is when the market opens. And, yeah, use your best judgment. But, I don't know. It seems like this is the swing high in question here. So I still think this is going to come up a little bit more before we get the drop. So I would probably look to sell between the 164.4 and 164.5 area. So just above this last high here, I would go with a sell. Potentially. If this is a correction, that's the thing, right? Because if this is not a correction and this is just keeps going up, then it wasn't a correction. But if this is a correction, it definitely looks like a good spot. We have other criteria. I mean, we have a 382 pin bar in the weekly. We already hit the monster zone. We're coming up into another weekly zone. Price is moving correctively and slow. We took out a 4-hour swing low. There's just so many things there saying... And on top of that, we have divergence. 4-hour chart, we have... Yeah. Here's... Here. So this price is going up. This is going down. We have divergence there. And if you zoom even further out, we have even bigger divergence from this bottom to this high. It's moving up, but yeah, the volume is going down. So let's do a little risk to reward here just to make sure it's all good. Let's go with a short position just above this high. Boom. We're going to put our stop loss probably right about there. And then take profit is going to be there. Yeah. It's there. I would say that's a potential good opportunity for this week. So I'm probably just going to leave this position here. I have a stop, basically break even. If this thing decides to jump back up into this zone, then I'm going to double down on my risk. If we get deeper into the zone, I'll double down on my risk. Otherwise, I'm going to leave this. And if this continues to drop, then great. Yeah, I kind of want to add on to this, though. I don't know. I might. I think I might add a little bit. Let's see. You know what? I'm going to go for it, too. Let's go. Boom. Sell. 20,000. This is the thing I don't like about freaking this thing. If you go to the Awanda app, go to GBP, JPY, and then click sell and put 20,000 units. It tells me that margin required is $1,242. But it doesn't tell you how much margin you're using on this TradingView platform. So that will leave me with a little bit left to trade. Okay, so I could probably have one other trade out there. Sweet! So I'm starting to notice that I have certain pairs that I do okay with, and there's other pairs that I do not do okay with. Euro USD is one that I do not. I don't do good trading this. I don't know why, but if we look clear across the board here, you know, Euro is coming up into major resistance here. We're already starting to get wicks. This seems like a pretty strong area. And it just seems like price is slowing down and it's starting to struggle here. So I would imagine that a move down is coming for all of these. I don't know if these might push up a little bit more, because it might actually be with GBP USD's case. We might be coming for this guy. So we might get one more move. Maybe up to this 126 area. And if we get a move up to the 126, then I'd be definitely looking for shorts. But we might not make it there. I don't know. We'll have to see what this week brings. But I mean, a bunch of other pairs, we've got 382 pin bar reversal candles on USD CAD, GBP, JPY, and Aussie USD. I tend to do okay with this pair too. We do have a 382 pin bar on the weekly, but it's just the location of it that's bugging me. You know what I mean? It's like within a correction. It's not like at a high or at a low. It's just like right here. So zooming out, it does look like we have this big overall correction. So I don't know if it's a good idea to short from here. And I'm not going to trade this unless we get a pullback up into this zone somewhere. If Aussie USD pulls back up into this zone, I'll probably go for that. So I'm going to leave. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to drop this down to 20,000 units. That way, I'm going to let these trades play out. We have GBP, JPY. I have one in. I'm going to add a second one if I get filled. And if it keeps dropping from there, great. Because I'm still making money regardless. And then USD CAD. If we get the spike down and get filled, then I'll trade that. Otherwise, I'm just going to watch the market and look for opportunities this week. Like if Aussie USD pulls its way back up into this zone here, I'll go for a short opportunity there if we get the pullback. I'm not trading from this low. No way. But yeah, other than that, that's it. We'll see what happens. See you later.